Walking in confidence means walking alongside God. That's the only way that I can explain it.
She always got something to say. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, she did. No, she didn't. Yes, she did.
We gonna cry a little.
I can't
Laugh a lot.
I like
Wanna
her.
hear real shit?
She keeping it real.
Definitely in the right spot.
Come on,
Let's
y'all.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm your girl Jamaica, of course. If you are new here and you do not know what to do while you're here, no problem. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and just like that, you are a jewel. The rest of my life, or the rest of your life, I appreciate you. I love you. You are welcome here. No judgment. We're good. If you haven't been here and you're still here, and it's been a while, and you still here, what the fuck is up? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses and love to all of you guys. I am back with another video, and this one's gonna be really good. Before I became this comfortable with myself and with my journey and being able to share my story, I cried a lot. I prayed a lot, and it was really something I went to God and I said, I don't want to be judged. I put my story out to millions of people, I share it with people, and I'm gonna be judged. And they're gonna see me, and they're gonna dislike me, and they're gonna talk about me, and they're gonna say I should have done better. They're gonna talk about all the things that should have happened instead, or what did I do to get here. God really reassured me that, so what? I have so much faith. I still put so much of my faith in my faith and in the faith of God and the hands of God that gives me confidence. There are so many people out here talking about, how do I get this confidence? You get this confidence from feeling like you know who is in control of your life. You know God has the center of your life. He has your journey. He knows the truth about you. He knows your lies. He knows your sins. He knows your weaknesses. He knows your faults. There's nothing you can hide from him. You can only be confident. You can be confident in that walk, in that journey. There's nothing wrong with crying. I tell people all the time. There's a scripture in a verse in the Bible that says, anger but sin not. That is clarification that you're allowed to feel the emotion. I don't understand when people be like, don't be sad, or stop crying, or don't be like this, or don't feel this. Why? Shut it off so that at one point or another it can explode, and then I find myself in a terrible situation because I done blacked out and stabbed her to death? Like, what? No. Feel the emotion. So many days, still to this day, I go in my room, I cry. I kid you not. I cry. I cry my eyes out. So to the point where it even stuns me, like, is the situation that serious? But it's whatever. It's my emotions. And I cry it out. And I allow myself to feel that emotion, and I lay it in front of God. And I say, God, this is how I'm feeling. This is where I'm weak. This is where I need your help. I need to recenter. I need to refocus. I need to realign. But I'm feeling like this, and it's hard. And allow God to help you through that emotion, to help you through that feeling, put you back in a confident head space, put you back in a confident spiritual space, emotionally, and then step outside. I do all the time. I do in the shower. Listen, I'm going to cry. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to feel all of my emotions. As long as I don't act upon them in a way that hurts others or hurts myself, I feel like I'm good. Right? Like, we all feel like, oh, we have to act this emotion out. As long as this does not hurt anyone, feel free to act that emotion out. Walking in confidence means walking alongside God. That's the only way that I can explain it. Knowing that I am who I am because God says I am who I am, and I know who God says that I am. I live knowing my flaws. I live knowing my mistakes. But God says, don't hold that against you, because I don't. So just because the outside world feels like they know something about you, or they know something about me, and that's going to keep me from being confident because you know it, I'm glad you know it. Now, what are you going to do now that you know it? Because I'm going to still be confident. I'm going to still have faith. I'm going to still get my blessings. I'm going to still achieve. I'm going to still conquer. I'm going to still overcome all these things, regardless as to what you know. A lot of times, it's people on the outside looking in that hold us to such conviction, so much to a point where it stunts our growth. Because we feel like, oh, because they still know it, I can't be better than it. It's who you were. It's not who you are. It's not who you're becoming. And yes, I 100% agree. Accountability. Accountability is a must. But let me say this. I don't have to please the next person, or I don't have to constantly apologize to the next person because they know something or I did something to them. Right? Let's just say I stepped on somebody's shoe. And then every time they see me, they be like, oh, you stepped on my shoe. Remember you stepped on my shoe. And they just keep reminding me. Okay, so the first time, I'm going to say, you know what? I apologize for stepping on your shoe. I do. I deeply apologize. The second time, I may even be like, look, I apologize for stepping on your shoe. I'm sorry. I said it the first time. But it's not going to be a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time. Hold on. Listen, you ain't got a new pair of shoes by then. God ain't set you up for a new pair of shoes by then, because what are we doing? I'm not going to keep apologizing to you, and I'm not going to feel low because I stepped on your shoes 1 year ago. Yeah, no. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Do not let others stunt your growth by reminding you of who you were. Make you feel bad by reminding you of who you were or what you did, especially if you already got right with God. Let me tell you something. Once I get right with God, you cannot hold me to anything. I'm sorry. At that point, that's a conversation you and God need to have. You need to be asking God, how can you get over it? Because clearly she's over it. Clearly you and her have made amends. That's it. People are afraid to walk in confidence because they fear that God hasn't forgiven them because the person hasn't forgiven them. But the person and God, baby, are two different entities. You don't have to forgive me. I can go to God and lay down my sins and lay down the wrongs I have done and lay it out, okay, from birth till 32 years old. And if God goes with me and forgives me for each of those things for 32 years of my life, if you ever think that I'm going to be waiting for you to forgive me before I can move forward to 33 years of my life, you are sadly mistaken. Yes, we're not doing that one. God's going to love me. God's going to love you. I'm even going to tell God, listen, that person is still holding something against me, but forgive them. Free their spirit. Open their hearts. Give them the closure that they need. I'm going to even pray for you. We start praying for our enemies. That's a real thing. You do not understand the power your enemy has over you if you don't forgive them. If you don't ask God to open their hearts and work through that with them. I am so free from the people that I've harmed. And I've harmed probably a good handful of people, I'm not gonna lie to you, in my life. Just by ignorance and just by my own hurt. And that's a true thing, or hurt people hurt people. And I have honestly went to God and said, God, I know I've hurt these people. I know I've acted in this manner. But please allow them to forgive me. Please allow for their hearts not to hold it against me. And God, please forgive me and allow for them to see the change that you see in me. Now, that's God, and humans are humans, and so they may not be on the same level of God. They are 100% not on the same level of God. I'd be not getting twisted. So, as God may give you a clean slate, they may not, and they don't have to. But do not let that stop you from being confident and walking in the faith that God says you have all the runway for. Yep, you slipped up. Keep walking. That person may have only been in your life for a season. That person may come back around. But until we know what that person is supposed to be and do in your life, you got to keep going. I walk in who I am because I'm walking in who God says that I am. I can only encourage other individuals. I can only encourage you all who are watching to know who God says you are and be confident and have faith that that person is brilliant, that that person is beautiful, that that person is confident, that that person is capable of change, that that person is not held at their sin. You are able to be redeemed because that's what God is all about. That grace, that glory that God gives you, that understanding that God has upon why we did something, that's God saying you have the opportunity to be made new all over again. You do. You do not have to worry about if your sister forgives you, if your father forgives you, if your mother, your job, your best friend, whomever. I forgive you. We're going to talk about backpedaling in another video because we have to understand that when God gives us grace and when God says, I'm giving you another opportunity, we're not at liberty to take advantage of that. Like, okay, yep, God said I'm okay today. I'm going to go back. I'm going to slip up and I'm going to do it again tomorrow and I'm going to ask for forgiveness and I'm going to slip up. Like, no, we're not backpedaling. However, I do understand that sometimes when you're so used to something, it's hard to change it and then stay in that change because you're not used to it. So, yep, you may slip up. Again, another video. Right now we're talking about the fact that you are here and you can keep going. We're not, again, holding humans of the world, of sin, to any high standard. We're only relying on who God says He is and who God says we are and who God says that we can be. And that's how we walk into a room with confidence. Not because of everybody else in the room, not because of the degrees everybody else hold, not because of the money that everybody else has, but because of God. And God says, this is who I am, and if it's set for me, then it has to be for me. If it's coming to me, then it's coming through me. God chose me. God selected me. God selected you. God says, I don't care what you did 2 days ago, 2 years ago. This is your purpose. This is your journey. This is your blessing. This is for you. And that's how you get your confidence. And that's how you walk in that confidence. And you feel feelings. Don't be afraid to feel feelings. You feel them. You go to God with them. And then you leave them with God. And then you say, well, I'm going to walk out of my room. I'm going to walk out this shower. And you know what? I'm going to be okay. I'm going to understand that was a piece of my life. That was something I was supposed to feel, but it's not something I was supposed to hold on to. I'm supposed to feel it and let it go. And keep moving and continue to go be great. And I don't like saying this because I feel like, I'm not going to say I don't like saying this, but I don't want everybody to feel like that's the hardcore answer. And that solution is not going to be for everybody. People are going to go beyond just feeling it. Some people are going to sit in it for days. Some people are going to sit in it for weeks. That's what we call depression. But you're not going to stand that depression, because even if it takes you 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, every hour, give it to God. Give it to God and watch Him refuel your soul. That man is so magical. It's so powerful. Oh my God, I wish I could give you all my experience. And even then, some days I'm crying, I'm angry, I'm depressed. I feel weak, but I get on my knees. I say, God, I know what I'm feeling, and you know what I'm feeling. Please take it from me. I can't handle it. It's way too much. You know what I'm capable of. Fuel me with that fire. Fuel me with those scriptures that says, I am. I can, so that I can be. I just kind of want to say that because everybody always asks, like, you're so positive with your story and you share it and you're so confident and you have so much faith. And that's because I now know how to utilize God. I know how to utilize His scriptures. I know how to be faced with a problem, feel that problem, and then let that problem go, like a 3-step process. Have it, feel it, and let it go. And say, okay, I know God has a future for me. I know this can't be it. And even if this is it, let's just say we get to the point where, like, this is it. Know that you've done all you can do. The rest is up to God. That has to be it. Trust Him. Believe in Him. Have faith in Him. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Peace.